Hello, everyone, and welcome to the High Int Low Whiz podcast, an actual play dungeon world adventure where our player characters are thick of brain and dumb of ass. That's thick with two C's, mind you. I am the conductor of this train wreck, Nick Davis, they, them. I'd like to have our players go around and introduce themselves and their characters.
Hi, I'm Alice, she, her, and I'll be playing the Slayer, Lorelei Nix. This rowdy rabbit lady was once an heiress to the Flopsy-Co corporate empire, clad in pearls and confined to the country club. But after a diplomatic incident with a party yacht, a mountain of fireworks, and a governor's daughter, Lorelei was shipped off to a troubled teen facility, Wolf Camp. After another incident with a motorcycle, a harpoon gun, and a cook, Lorelei escaped and ran into the monster-infested frontier of the Oatlands. With dangerously high confidence and her gun, Lorelei made a name for herself as one of the best monster hunters on the Skyland. Sure, that name is more infamous than flattering, but that's besides the point.
Hi, I'm Mike Zaire, and I'll be playing Taku. Taku is a gator-born shaman who makes friends wherever he travels, whether with wayward spirits or even more wayward weirdos. As sturdy and powerful as he is wise, Taku's mind wanders in a world that only powerful mystics and hallucinating leprechauns are usually aware of. Following whispers on the wind and the beckoning dance of a tiny spirit of fire that lives in his pipe, Taku goes where he's needed and follows a new call once his task is complete, or whenever the spirits call him elsewhere, whether that be upon the completion of a perilous quest or in the middle of a conversation at a roadside cafe.
Absolutely fantastic.
Hi, I'm Dean. Pronouns he, him, and I'll be playing Rosmontus Kilcarian, or just Rosmo. Rosmo is a stone-spire dwarf son of a miner who exudes an energy of being thrice divorced, despite never having been married. He keeps a trimmed beard and wears a neatly tailored and well-worn pinstripe suit. As a Knight of Capitalism, Rosmo worked his way through the worst of what folks were capable of. Extortion, arson, spying, theft, kidnapping were all his stock and trade against unions or sometimes other companies. Rosmo thought he was due for a promotion. Instead, he got a knife to the back. Now he's planning on taking this lateral move as a chance to knife his way up the org chart, one Lieutenant Knight of Capitalism at a time. Gone are the days of steak dinners and 800-year-old scotch. Now Rosmo lives in the gutters of Glittershade, where he follows a petty crime lord, Shady Shay. Shay keeps him busy with dirty jobs done dirt cheap, while he broods on his revenge on the bastards who threw him away.
I'm Onna, and I'll be playing Daphne. 5 feet of hoof and horn, Daphne is a fawn with a fiery disposition. The only child of Fey diplomats to the lush, volcanic skyland of Everember, Daphne grew up in a secluded and gilded cage. Her knack for arson blossomed at an early age, and the enigmatic druids of Everember claimed she was the second coming of the Great Flame. They brought her into the heart of the caldera, where she was trained to embody the dictates of the flame. Daphne seemed destined for a bright future. Problem was, Daphne wasn't too interested in being the figurehead of a cult. She wanted more in life. She wanted to dance. Clip-clopping her way to freedom, Daphne found her way to the Skyland keynote, where she opened up an extremely successful dance studio. It just also happened to be extremely flammable. Oops. With high hopes and fire in her eyes, and a hefty insurance payout in hand, Daphne took to the road, hoping to find a better, less flammable dance studio.
Hello, everyone. I'm Benny Arndt, as in the contraction of R and not. My pronouns are he, him. I'll be playing Iimish Hornygold, a quarter leprechaun, 3/4 other stuff. He's a Nike fighter champion of the Fey Quartz Wrestling Federation. He has a tiny body, big muscle, and a rage-fueled Napoleon complex the size of his own ego. He was exiled from his home among the Fey after attempting to use his wrestling platform to get the Pro-Feytariat to revolt against the Bouge Fey Z. He pursues excessive vice, justice for the small folk, any chance to win a game, and the compelling urge to combat, conquer, cook, and consume the most delectable monsters the world has to offer. But what he really wants is to know what happened to his beloved grandmother and mentor, Gemma Clem.
All right, we're going to be playing this campaign in a gaming system called Dungeon World. Short form, I'll narrate a scenario to the players. They'll tell me how they want to react to it, and we'll be determining between the six of us if the character is using one of their powers, skills, or moves, and what is needed to be rolled to accomplish it. The game's played with two 6-sided die, 2d6, and modified by the character's stats, anywhere from a -3 to a +3. A roll of 6 or below is a full failure, with consequences to the player character, or possible bystanders, or structure at large. 7 to 9 will be a mixed success. You get what you want, but you're going to have to pay something in return. And a 10 or above is a full success. You accomplish what you set out to do. Dungeon World is a little different from a lot of tabletop RPGs in that one of the game mechanics is called bonds. The players all have a personal thread that connects their characters to one another. Let's dig into those bonds just a little bit. How is everyone in the party bonded to Daphne?
Daphne's a delight, but that girl could get lost in an empty room with one door. I'm looking out for her.
Daphne is out of balance and a danger to themselves and others. I will help them.
The last I heard, someone's got it out for Daphne.
Daphne is the only family that I have outside the Fae courts. No one is allowed to upset her.
And how's everyone bonded to Iimish?
A monster stalks Iimish, and I want to kill it.
The spirits have spoken to me of Iimish. They have a strange destiny that I will play a part of.
Iimish has been fighting even longer than I have. If they want it, they've got my support.
I know I can rely on Iimish when my fire fails me.
I'm pretty attached to me.
Seems reasonable. And how is everyone bonded to Rosmo?
I helped Rosmo with a job that went 6 sorts of sideways, and I still give him shit about it.
I've sworn a covenant with Rosmo. The spirits have witnessed it. I will get that coffee.
Rosmo is such a stick in the mud. It's up to me to show him how to have fun.
It's nice to have Rosmo around to take care of all the things I can't be bothered with, but I don't trust him.
You probably shouldn't.
That's valid.
How is everyone bonded to Lorelei?
Lorelei does not believe in the spirit world, but I will make them listen.
So ominous.
Yeah.
I know that Lorelei lost something dear to the enemy. Sad, but not really my problem.
Lorelei seems suitably impressed by my fire, and I just can't help but show off in front of her.
So here's the thing about Lorelei. She's my favorite rival in a competition, but I will never tell her that.
And lastly, how is everyone bonded to Taku?
As a fellow Salt of the Skyland sort, I enjoy talking shop with Taku, even if his folksy ways are a bit quaint.
I can tell Taku doesn't trust me. They're smart.
Taku has much to teach me about temperance, if I can learn to listen.
Taku has strange and hella cool ways. I want to learn them.
All right, so diving into the nitty-gritty, let's talk about the world at large. The world we're playing in is a big ol' homebrew made by a process of collaboration between all of the players. The world as is a collection of gigantic, like in the most cases, several dozen miles across, magically suspended sky islands called the Skylands. Each of the 13 sky islands is their own nation state with their own cultures and people. They live harmoniously among each other and with the lands below and are essentially a flying United Nations, ruled over by a senate on the highest skyland called Thronstadt. The party's adventures will largely be confined to the Skylands, but may expand to the world at large below, depending on what they choose to do. All of the fine details of the game system, the characters, and the world complete and explained. Are we ready to play some Dungeon World?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
If it's all like a giant United Nations and it's Skylands, is it the United Skylands? Are we in the US? Is that what you're telling me?
No.
No, anything but that.
No, it's more like Greece.
I was just checking.
It's like Peloponnesian Greece. Just a bunch of city states, and
They cooperate and they trade and they're friends and that's it. It's not.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, don't think too hard about it. There's definitely no corporate empires or oligarchy
Absolutely
going
not.
on here. This is completely divorced from this.
Absolutely not.
Nope,
No.
don't.
That would be super
It's
heavy-handed.
sunshine,
Yeah.
rainbows, and magic cats. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, like it's all you need, baby.
It's a
Yep.
That's right.
what internal strife.
All right. So the party at the start of the game, Iimish, Daphne, Taku, and Lorelei sit together in a warehouse-turned-tavern, the secret base of operations of a group of smugglers run by a woman named Shay, the proprietor of Shay's Shop of Shady Shit. The four of you have been invited to participate with the smugglers and help move merchandise for Shay following your last job together, having incurred a not-so-small debt to her, but also displaying that you were too useful to dismiss or remove. The tavern itself is fairly packed tonight. Business for the smugglers of the affectionately named Portmanteau has been exceptionally busy of late. A bard stands on a stage opposite end of the tavern, singing a song that you can tell, even at this distance, is pretty badly out of tune. The four of you are enjoying your beverages of choice when you see a short woman, an elder gnome by the looks of her, and her two hulking bodyguards approaching. She's got long hair in a tall gray and black beehive. She's got a silver and blue dress on, an ornate golden wood cigarette holder in one hand, and a silver staff with a crescent moon and a cat wrapped around it in the other. She's dressed up quite a bit since you ran into her earlier, but you'd be able to pick Shay out from a mile away.
It's the hair, real tall.
I mean, hair included, she's about 2.5 feet tall. It's fantastic. She approaches the table that the four of you are sitting at, gestures to one of her bodyguards. He approaches, scoops her up, and sets her up on top of the table. She stands between the four of you and looks at you and says, "Well, it took a little bit of thinking, but I have an idea as to how you can all pay me back. You're gonna head down to the Astral Plaza Casino. You're gonna get in. You're gonna get into Jasper Barker's office. You're gonna get me my box back. Got a guy here who used to work with Jasper. You work with him, it'll help all four of you, all five of you. You get that box back, get it to me. All five of you are out of debt."
What's your box doing in Jasper Barker's clutches? Just curious.
That should be pretty self-explanatory. He took it.
Why?
He's a dick.
Well, what's in the box?
That's what I was going to ask.
Something of mine.
Look, probably best to just understand that we have an opportunity to write our own fates from this moment, as long as we get her box away from that dick.
She breezes past that one. She snaps her fingers twice, and the two bodyguards kind of step to the sides, and they part the way for Rosmo. She gestures you up to the table, and she says, "Rosmo, these are the, useful friends that I've made for you. You work with them.
That's the nicest thing someone said about me today.
And the nicest I'll say about you ever."
Ah, Shay. I know you love me. We've got that special connection. Don't buy to your heart.
Iimish is just looking back and forth between Shay and Lorelei, being like, trying to figure out the special connection. It's going right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Lorelei is like leaning across the table and just like grinning with her big buck teeth up at Shay. I'm sure she thinks herself extremely charming in this moment. It's definitely not obnoxious.
Absolutely. Rosmo, Shay looks over her shoulder and gestures you over to the table. She snaps her fingers again, and a couple of the waitstaff start bringing a drink over to the table for you. Go ahead and sit down with your new friends and formulate a plan and execute on that plan, and I will leave you five to it.
Rosmo looks them up and down and goes, if you just want to kill me, that'd be faster.
I can help with that.
Wow.
Good to see you again, Lorelei. I see your nose is straight again.
Yeah, through no help of your own there, Rosmo.
Do I look like a doctor? I'm not going to straighten your nose.
You could have, not abandoned me in the trench.
That's a generous way to put it. I would say that I beat feet because going back for you would get me killed.
Charming as ever, my friend.
You got out of there, it's fine.
Hold on a second here. Let me get something straight. So you know him?
Know's a strong word.
We did a job together that was reasonably successful.
Successful is another strong word there.
The objective was accomplished.
And technically.
Yeah, I mean, we got paid, so...
Iimish goes up to Lorelei and partially climbs up her and bends one ear down so he can whisper in it.
Lorelei just leans into it. She's pretty used to this at this point.
So what I'm wondering then is, can we trust him? And I'm doing all this effort to make it be quiet, and then I say it way too loudly so Rosmo can clearly hear me.
And Lorelei, without even batting an eyelid, just goes, "Oh, absolutely not. But he is competent."
Competent, my scaly tail. He still owes me 3 cups of coffee that he'll never pay. Never.
Do I know you?
You know me. The spirits witnessed our vow. And you burned the coffee shop down. No one makes that roast anymore.
That, Rosmo, I didn't think you were capable of such horror.
That doesn't sound like me.
That sounds exactly like you.
No, I would never burn down a coffee shop. Coffee is too precious around these parts.
Shay, still standing on the table, just kind of nods at Lorelei's assessment that that's exactly the kind of person that Rosmo is. She walks back to the other end of the table towards her bodyguards, and she to the five of you and to the bodyguards and to the room at large, just kind of goes, fast friends already. Okay, give me my box. This might be significant. On the casino floor, maybe try to keep the body count to a minimum. We don't need that kind of smoke here right now. But once you're backstage, those dicks aren't people. Rosmo, you know who you're working with. You know who you're working against. Do they qualify?
I mean, they're paid to take lives, and if you're paid to take lives, then you should be willing to also die. It's just how the world works.
Here's the thing, too, is even when we're on the casino floor, bruises and broken bones do not count as a body count.
Don't worry about the body count once you're backstage.
Do fires count?
As long as it doesn't fall back on me.
Depends how vigorous those fires are. And I want to say that as soon as Shay said the word smoke, I'm certain Lorelei and probably everyone else just turned to look at Daphne very pointedly.
Are you good with arson?
I've never seen anyone quite so accomplished.
No, she's a fantastic fire starter. That's very true. Very true.
So bruises, broken bones, and second-degree burns are all fine.
As all this conversation has been happening, Taku has been just kind of like chewing on his pipe, and it looks like he's like puffing away furiously. But as he pulls the pipe away, you see there's actually nothing in there other than the flame. And the flame kind of like leans out of the pipe as Taku holds it by kind of up to the side of his head, nodding. And he sticks it back in his mouth and goes, "You're right. They all give fire a bad name."
That's the cutest shit.
That's fantastic. I love it.
Don't worry, Rosmo. He has one-way conversations with that thing all the time.
I've seen weirder.
It's not one way. Pipesy is an excellent conversationalist.
You named it Pipesy?
Shay gestures to her two bodyguards, who lift her off the table, set her back on the ground, and without a further word, she just walks away.
Did she leave like a map or instructions after that, or is it just go to a casino and find a box?
What was that?
It was the second one.
Okay, cool. Cool. I mean, how great of a casino could it be here?
Iimish is gonna lean into Daphne and just be like, Pipesy's an excellent conversationalist, the way my hand's a fine sexual partner.
Oh, Iimish. Living up to that horny gold name.
Is it called Rightsy?
Don't pretend you know me.
I like how right out of the gate we're setting the rating for this show. That's great. I love that.
His name is Hornigold.
Like,
Yeah,
What
that
did you
and
expect?
it's not just a name either.
No.
What it says on the tin.
It is what it says on the tin.
So what's the plan here? Infiltrate, or just kind of like walk in and take stuff?
I mean, I find if you walk in with enough confidence, you can get about just anything you want. And a clipboard. Clipboard's useful for that.
So let's get into some game mechanic stuff. Rosmo and I think Iimish, you could both roll spout lore on this. So roll plus int.
Oh yeah, I spent some time in gambling halls. That makes perfect sense.
Absolutely. Rosmo, you have a more than sneaking familiarity with the people who run this casino, so you could learn a bit here.
I was going to say, was Iimish like born in a gambling hall? Because that seems accurate.
Wasn't born in a gambling hall, but former wrestler. There's a lot of gambling that goes on the sidelines of those very real wrestling matches.
Oh, yeah. Super real.
Absolutely. Yeah. Probably conceived in one, though.
I always thought Iimish came out of like a boudoir or something.
It's actually doudoir. It was a male thing. It was,
Oh, excellent.
A boudoir,
Very
a
good.
boudoir.
Doudoir.
What is it? 2d6, right?
2d6 plus your int modifier.
Iimish is rocking a solid 9.
That's a 9 for Iimish.
9 for Iimish modified.
That's going to be minus my int modifier. I'm not...
Awesome.
Holy shit. I rolled 2 6s, baby.
Oh, shit.
Hell yeah.
First roll of the podcast.
All right. So, Iimish, Let's start with the lower roll first. This is just going to be general information that you have about the Astral Plaza Casino specifically. You've been there. You are familiar with the security there specifically. Typically, what happens if someone is card sharking, they'll get taken backstage for a little while before they get thrown back out on the street.
Okay.
And looking at the spout lore, the information card for that ability, when you consult your accumulated knowledge about something, roll plus int. On a 10 plus, the GM will tell you something interesting and useful about the subject relevant to your situation. On a 7 to 9, the GM will tell you something is interesting, and it's up to you to make it useful. So that's what you get out of that. Something interesting that you might be able to make useful.
Yeah, so Iimish right away will tell the group just like, so here's the thing. I've been back there playing Rain, like our version of poker pretty much. And anybody that was caught cheating, they'd be taken in the back for a while, for a wee bit of pummeling. And so if we wanted to, that would be one way to get into the back almost immediately, is we just play some cards and somebody cheats.
That would be efficient.
Rosmo, with your double sixes -1, that's a full success. So you get something useful and interesting. You are aware that due to your prior connections, that the Astral Plaza in particular is a known money laundering location. So the backstage is it's a combination of business and criminal element and that everything above the ground floor is business offices, and the people in there would be less than thrilled to see you. Now, that said, security on the casino floor would be a lot of toughs that they're likely going to be able to drag you off the casino floor into that backstage area. The guys that are backstage, though, are exponentially more of a threat. So that is interesting and useful. As for how that gets you backstage, though, if you were to call on some of your prior connections or any of the accumulated experience from your past life, you could probably pretty easily talk your way backstage.
Is that where the box would be?
The box, Shay told you, is specifically in Jasper's office.
So the upper offices, which is not backstage.
I assume backstage is probably where all of the staff travel through rather than traveling through the floor.
When I say backstage, I mean everything that isn't the casino floor.
Okay.
Yeah, so you got to get through backstage to get to
The
Barker's
stairwells
office.
to get upstairs. Yeah.
Bingo.
That's what I'm guessing.
You don't
many
exactly
floors
want
are
to
there?
carry cash at the end of the night through the floor
Bingo.
Nope, fair.
open to the public. I mean, I personally would appreciate if they did that.
I'm sure a lot of people who want to make a quick buck would appreciate that.
I heard someone ask how many floors the casino is.
Mm-hmm.
It is 2 floors above the ground floor, so 3 total.
Is this on a pretty open street, the building? Is there a back alley behind the building that we can do shenanigans in?
Let me ask you, has Rosmo been there before? Either business or pleasure.
Does Rosmo know the meaning of the word pleasure?
Fair enough.
Oh, he has his pleasures.
Are those pleasures breaking kneecaps or?
Incredible violence is one of the many vices that Rosmo enjoys. So yes, Rosmo has been to this casino, mostly to drink and sometimes to lose money.
Okay. So Rosmo would know offhand that there are 2 entrances to the casino on the main drag that it's on. There is essentially a backstage entrance, and that's for performers. It's for staff coming in off the street. It is for anyone who is looking for direct access to the upper floors. There is one backstage entrance.
I say we go through there. Look, sometimes you can't go through the front and be obvious. You got to go in the back and be sneaky.
Looking around at our group and just kind of wincing at the word sneaky.
Look, sometimes you need to take the back door entrance. It's more fun for everyone involved. Alternatively, we do both.
We're learning things about Rosmo already.
We're learning so much about Rosmo.
Iimish doesn't think he likes him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could talk my way through the back.
So confident.
The hesitation on the word talk.
And then, likewise, maybe somebody flashy could cause an incident on the floor and divide the attention of those who are more muscly inclined.
I'm flashy.
Cool. Make some bets, be extravagant, get caught cheating, be dragged out back. Perfect. Nothing can go wrong with this plan.
Oh, that's it. That's the thing. No, I can't. I don't cheat. That's not okay with me.
I'll cheat.
I just snap my fingers and point at Daphne. There, right there. There we go. I win. I don't cheat.
You don't cheat well, or you just...
I don't cheat at all. That's cheating's for losers.
Oh, you got caught one too many times. I get it.
This guy doesn't understand me at all. It's like I'm speaking a foreign language.
Okay, it sounds like you guys have something approaching a plan. Is that what I'm...
This plan is rock solid and filled with many details.
That's generous.
As we all know, a bad plan is better than no plan, so, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, Daphne's just going to set something on fire.
Perfect.
I don't think
Nailed
we
it.
can stop Daphne from setting things on fire.
No, probably not.
You can just kind of decide where the fire is going to start. Not where it goes, where it starts.
You can try and aim it. That's the objective there.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay. So you guys head out from the warehouse. You set out onto the streets of the lowest of the 13 skylands, a skyland called Glittershade. Glittershade is, as we pull the camera up so the audience can see, kind of an amalgamation of every port city that you've ever been to. There's a little bit of everyone here. You see, a mix of all of the various fantasy races that occupy the world. You see gnomes, you see dwarves, you see humans, you see bunny folk, you see, your motley crew. They don't draw any extra attention for being an odd assortment of folk. And it's also pretty late at night, and the streets are still pretty jam-packed. I mean, there are people everywhere doing things. Hawkers selling, cheap goods on the streets. There are people playing, shell games on the street. There are people, basically, SoundCloud rappers trying to get you to buy their mixtape, It is every port city that you can imagine, right? And you guys are specifically in the port district. You are the warehouse that Shay's, operation base is out of. The front half is an actual warehouse. The back half is kind of equivalent to a speakeasy. It's an off-the-books tavern. You guys come out onto the street. You know that it's a not insignificant walk to the Astral Plaza, but it is on the other side of town, so a few miles. As you guys are making your way through, you're seeing all of the various people doing their business. Are you guys going to refine your plan at all on the way? Is it just Rosmo talk his way in the back, the other four go in the front, stir up trouble, and try and get escorted into the back? Is that what we're doing?
I think we would be refining the plan a little bit beyond that.
Okay.
Rosmo is dubiously trustworthy, rather.
Mm-hmm.
Also trustful.
Extremely trustable. Very trustworthy face. Never lies. Very upstanding citizen.
I am trust.
Yeah, definitely doesn't cheat at cards or
Can't prove that.
abandon his very good friends in a trench with a broken nose.
That sounds oddly specific.
You can't abandon very good friends if they're not very good friends.
I don't know why, but my brain is hung on SoundCloud rappers, and like a SoundCloud is an actual thing in this world now.
You want to listen to my SoundCloud? And they just throw fog in your face. You're like, no, man, I got places to be.
And it just hangs around your head and just fills your ears with music.
I hate audio clouds. I've had to tell 3 shoe shiners that no, I do not need my shoes shined. Thank you, I'm going somewhere.
Well, and if they tried to shine your shoes, the rest of the leather on the top would come apart anyway, so what's the fucking point, right? Okay, as we are following the party along the streets, you guys are approximately halfway there. We're seeing a conglomeration of these exorbitantly large cats on the streets. These are a known menace species to the Skylands. They are called Magicats. There are a few unique qualities of Magicats over a normal, cat. They are roughly the size of an African serval, so they are a fairly large cat. But the thing that makes them a menace are that, one, they're fairly smart, two, they can speak, and three, they can cast spells. As the five of you are walking down the street, there is a small herd of what's the name for a group of cats? A clouder of cats, I think?
I think it's a commune.
Disaster.
I don't know. I liked Menace of Magic Cats.
Sure, it's a menace of magic cats. There we go.
I'm pretty sure it's a commune, but okay.
Is it a mischief of Magic Cats, or?
I think a menace of magic cats.
Menace, I like that.
I was going with a mayhem of magic cats.
That's a good
Mayhem
name too.
of Magic Cats is good. I think it varies by the Skyland
I'll take
you're
that.
at.
Sure.
And there's probably like impassioned debates
Oh yeah, totally.
at, linguist conferences every year about which one is the correct nomenclature.
Long-winded, useless arguments.
I'll say for Glittershade, they refer to it an "oh god damn it" of magic cats.
In Stone Spirits, an anarchy of magic cats.
Oh, I love that.
There we go. I like that. As you guys are moving down the street, an oh fuck of magic cats starts approaching you. One of them has very clearly a ghostly magical hand floating in front of it and holding a butterfly knife, doing like butterfly knife tricks with it, but keeps whacking himself on the knuckles.
No.
On his magical, like, telepathic or telekinetic hand knuckles?
Yeah, absolutely, yes. He's just very bad at doing butterfly knife tricks.
Is the hand getting cut up? Like, is he?
No, it's like every time they flip the blade open, the handle whacks it in the knuckles, and it does like the handshake, and then like goes back to doing butterfly knife tricks, whacks the knuckles again. It's useless. It's so stupid.
But with a butter knife.
A butterfly knife.
Butterfly knife. I heard butter knife and I went, oh my god.
But it's both, right? It's a butterfly knife, but instead of being sharp, it's just butter knives.
But butter knife.
It's a butterfly butter knife. There we go. Problem
Yes.
solved.
It's Magic Cat's first butterfly knife.
It's useless. Oh my god.
These three magic cats approach you guys, and all of them with the exact same voice look at you, and like you get the impression that they're trying to threaten you, but they're not very good at it. And the one with the butterfly knife is the one who kind of stands out and looks at the five of you and just goes, "Your money or your life? Give."
Look at you. You're absolutely beautiful. See, everybody finds them kind of a nuisance. Iimish loves the magic cats. Like, to him, it's not a mayhem, it's not an anarchy, it's a magnificence of magic cats. Terrible shit starters, all of them.
Do they look flammable?
If you try hard enough.
Because my move, Ignition. That looks flammable. Target of your choice ignites and takes 1d6 fire.
Oh my god, are you really gonna burn a Magic Cat?
Are you gonna torch a cat?
I think I might torch the magic hand and the knife and just make it drop it and be like, ooh, what are you going to hit us with? That? Maybe not.
I like that.
Iimish's face is stricken because he loves magic cats, but Daphne is the most important person to him in like all of the Skylands. So he's just frozen.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So here's the thing. Iimish, if you want to roll aid or interfere, you can roll to try and interfere with Daphne casting the spell. Otherwise, Daphne.
Nope. It's just shock and horror. Like,
Yeah,
it
that's
doesn't
valid.
know what to do.
I'm going to roll to hit a cat.
Yeah, well, a hand. You're rolling to hit the hand. Let's be specific here. Go ahead and roll plus int.
Oh, it's good. Plus 3, 6 plus 1, 7 plus 3. That's a full success. 7 plus 3 is a 10, you know?
Beautiful. Okay, so using ignition. That looks flammable. A target of your choice ignites and takes 1d6 fire damage. Go ahead and roll damage. Roll those dammies.
How many hit points does a butterfly knife have?
Butterfly butter knife. Let's be specific.
I also have an ability that any fire, where is it? Phoenix Born. Fire spells deal plus 1 damage.
Oh no.
So they take 7 damage because I rolled a 6?
You just kind of tell me how you're casting this spell. What do you do?
I literally think she just snaps and goes, no thank you.
Bad kitty.
You're running your life. No, thank you.
The handle of the butterfly knife just kind of ignites immediately, and the hand just like it is holding something hot just starts shaking, and the magic cats just scatter. No, not worth it. Fuck this. I'm out.
Shall we keep going? Yes.
I think you and I will get along.
That is worrying. Darling, I would advise in the strongest possible terms against walking that path. Or rather, I suppose clip-clopping that path.
But they started it?
They're cats.
Yeah, that means that I can do whatever I want because they attacked me first. Yeah, that's permission.
Self-defense laws will get you a long way in court. That was a smart decision.
This is not a stand your ground state.
This is Glittershade. This isn't anything state. I saw a general store get put up the other day.
What is law? Can you eat it?
I'm going to roll my mana real quick. I didn't do it at the beginning. So that was a 1+1, and so I have 2 mana, which means I just used one of 2 spells I can use this adventure. Yeah!
You only need 1 good spell, so it's fine.
Does Ignition take a spell slot?
It does.
Oh, fuck. All right, well.
They all do. That's why self-immolation exists.
Oh, that's right. That's encouraging.
When you cast a spell at 0 mana, you can take 1d4 fire damage per spell, ignoring damage resistance. Oh, Christ.
Blood magic!
Jesus.
Daphne's veins are just chock full of kerosene.
She is the Burning Man.
Daphne, what's that word tattooed on your wrist? Flammable? Is that dwarvish?
I'm not sure. Somebody wrote that on there for me.
Is it like a medical alert bracelet?
The medical alert is not for her.
Warning, stored a cool, dry place.
Jesus Christ. Onna, as Daphne burns up the butterfly butter knife, I would like you to just give me a discern realities roll real quick, plus wisdom.
Oh. That's -1.
Awesome. Super cool.
Oh, so that is 5 - 1. 4.
4. That is a failure. So don't worry about it. You're good.
Perfect. Love to hear it. Oh, wait. No. Wisdom is an 8. So wisdom is -2. So that would be even a 3.
Even better. Yeah. Total whiff. Yeah. 100%. As Daphne burns up the butterfly butter knife, the rest of you look up on the rooftops up above, and you see an oh fuck of magic cats just kind of watching and judging.
Everything looks good.
Yeah, looks great.
Oh.
They didn't mean it. They're very sorry. We all apologize.
That worked great.
Lorelei just like wraps an arm around Daphne's shoulder and just like covers her mouth with with her hand, just like, maybe don't push your luck right now, darling.
Yeah, I'm going to have to carry an umbrella for the next few days.
A warning, when you do that, you definitely get a bird.
Yeah, I'll say go ahead and take one harm for that.
Okay, yeah. Ouch.
Daphne runs hot.
You touch Daphne, yeah, you get hurt.
She's warm. All right, so you guys come out of the alleyway where the 3 magic cats attempted to mug you.
That was a mugging? They were so adorable.
They were very cute muggers. I kind of wanted to help them out.
I did feel a sort of sense of, oh, sure, you can have a couple bucks.
Yeah, I mean, if they just asked nicely, they probably would have gotten something. But
they did get something, some free fire.
Wait, whose mug did I leave those coins in then?
You guys continue to the end of the alley, and you are back on one of the main streets. You are at this point about maybe a half mile out from the Astral Plaza. I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes in character to refine the plan and figure out what you want to do, and we will go with that. So, what is the exact plan? Who is going front door? Who is going back door?
I want to go back. I can either talk or muscle my way in if that doesn't work.
Every barmaid I've ever met who knows Rosmo says he only goes through the back door.
That's untrue.
I'm inclined to believe our gatory friend here.
Rosmo and Jim Morrison are basically the same guy.
What's a back door?
I don't think we need to talk about my sexual habits today.
When did we start talking about sex?
Everyone responds.
Mammals are just obsessed with sex. I don't understand it.
It's because we're warm-blooded.
That is what makes you tasty.
You get a real big cocked eyebrow from Iimish on that one. It's like whoa, new information.
I meant mammals generally.
No, I picked up what you're putting down. I've eaten a lizard.
I need clarification from Iimish on that. Is that a curious, like, oh yeah, let's prep some long pig cocked eyebrow, or is that a why do you know what people taste like eyebrow? This is just for my edification.
It's actually a mixed bag there. It's
cool.
It's why do you know what people taste like? And then the very next thought, if you could see his thought bubble, would be like, what does people taste like? Because
I see it as why do you know what people taste like, and why don't I know what people taste like?
Exactly. Yes, that's
cool.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Lorelei sees nothing strange with the statement that Taku has made.
None at all.
Seems legit.
We've all been there. You know, it's winter. It's been winter everywhere before.
Is that a Donner Party reference?
Of course it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lorelei is about as sensible as the Donner Party, too.
You've got dysentery.
I'll absolutely ford that river. Everything will be fine. Build a
Yeah,
raft.
definitely follow the advice of a travel guide written by a lawyer who's never actually traveled that route. Crossing the salt flats is a great idea. Like,
Works fine every time.
the Sierra Nevada are famously, like, not a big deal in winter.
All right, what are you monsters doing?
All right, who wants to go in the back? Who wants to go in the front?
Well, here's the thing. I'm definitely going to be going in the front because Daphne's going in the front, and Daphne's not going anywhere without me.
I don't know. I kind of want to leave her unattended because that seems funny.
Daphne is out of balance and a danger to themselves and others. I need to help them, so I'll go wherever Daphne goes.
Lorelei, are you and I teaming up again?
Well, maybe this time you can end up in a trench with a broken nose all by your lonesome, and you can reflect on your life choices.
No, I've been there. I've done that. It's not great. Let's go.
Okay. We have Rosmo and Lorelei going to the back entrance. We have Daphne, Iimish, and Taku going to the front entrance. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
And does Daphne have some type of bag, like satchel that they carry?
She sure does. It's filled with bagpipes.
Excellent. Iimish crawls in there.
Perfect. Just hold the bagpipes so they don't get smushed, and then we're all set.
So,
Yeah.
is it like a 2-in-1 where the bagpipes also have like a purse compartment, like an Iimish-sized purse compartment?
Absolutely.
Or is it that the bagpipes are like stuffed in there and Iimish has to like work his way around them? Because I prefer the former, but the latter is also very good.
The former makes sense if we've been traveling together a while. Because he's going to get tired. He's got short legs. If we're traveling for he takes a nip nap.
Is it like a baby Bjorn with his
No,
little legs
he
sticking out? Or
No, he doesn't get tired. This is all about the element of surprise.
The Iimish of surprise.
Absolutely. You never nap in there.
Do me a favor as you're climbing into the bag. Can you just roll plus dex for me and just hold on to that number for a little bit?
Oh God, yes I can. So I'm not telling you, I'm just rolling.
Oh, you can tell me. That's fine. That just helps me prep for what's coming up.
So modified 8 because it's -1.
Okay, mixed bag. Cool. As you're climbing in, like you managed to pack yourself into the bag pretty well, and there's a little bit of room between you and the bagpipes, and it's not actually too obvious that there's a small person inside this bag. Like you'd have to really sit and study it for a minute to see anything that would indicate it. So that's cool. That's very cool.
But every once in a while, when I shift around, you just hear like the squeak of a bagpipe.
I just realized something.
Yeah.
Daphne has a strength of 9.
What is Iimish's weight?
Well, he is one giant muscle, so probably pretty dense.
He's pretty dense.
Yeah, he's dense, but he's under 2 feet tall.
he is a wee lad.
Am I dragging this bag in?
But like
He's incredibly short.
He's like a very dense cat.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Honestly, like
That's got to be like
Okay.
a bowling ball or two, though, which is not nothing.
Yeah, I mean, he probably weighs about 30 pounds.
Daphne's got strong legs.
I would say, yeah, probably between 30-40 pounds, and like having that on your back probably wouldn't overburden you.
Okay.
I mean, for funsies, we can roll strength to see how off balance you are.
Oh my god. to see if I'm clip-clopping, if I'm just slamming my feet into the ground.
And really to see if it's clip-clop or if it's clip-clop, 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 clip. If you're walking with or without rhythm.
She is finding all the squeaky floorboards for sure.
6 minus 1, 5.
It should be 2d6. Oh God, that was you rolled 6. Oh God. Oh no.
Minus 1.
Okay, so on a we're not going to call it a fail because it wasn't actually a skill check of any sort. It's just a how you moving. It's pretty arrhythmic the way you're like. It's like when you're carrying in too much groceries at once. You are clearly straining here.
Shuffling.
Uh-huh.
You got to do it in only one trip. If you do 2 trips to the car with grocery bags, you failed.
You've lost.
You get me.
It's all
You
one
get
trip.
me.
Yeah.
Yes.
As we split up, I in like stage whisper, but loud enough to be sure they hear me. So quite loud because I am a massive Gatorborn. I yell out, "Lorelei, Rosmo!
Yeah.
This looks like it has lots of money. Keep an eye out for any Gator Green coffee beans so Rosmo can start paying off his debt to me."
I don't know what he's talking about. I've never burnt down a coffee
The
establishment.
spirits witnessed it, Rosmo, you know!
Lorelei just nods very solemnly at Taku.
Wants coffee? I'll get him a coffee.
I picture like all the hawkers and stuff too that have been up and down the street are suddenly like coming to you offering like various types of beans to none of which are what you're looking for, but they're all claiming that it's the real deal.
Green beans, pinto beans, black beans. There's all these bean chilies being offered to you, and none of them are the right beans.
There's kidney beans, but they are in fact just literal kidneys.
They're just the size of beans.
Tangy.
One guy comes up to you and he explains that how beans are not actually coffee beans. He's not offering you anything. He just wants to correct you.
Well, actually,
It's extremely reductive, honestly.
Oh, that douchebag.
All right, heading to the alleyway entrance. Rosmo and Lorelei, do you guys have any prep you're doing, or are you just rolling up with a story?
Rolling up with a story. Song in my heart. Is there like a guy out back, or can I just open
There
the
is.
door?
There is a guy.
yeah, Lorelei's making sure her hat is perfectly adjusted and just like, all right, I look excellent.
Do I recognize this fella? This guy? This person? Do I know him?
I think why don't we roll plus int just to see if you recognize this person?
For funsies.
God, you love making me roll for my worst skill. 5. I don't know this person.
You could not pick this guy out of a lineup of 1.
What does this guy look like?
He doesn't know. You can't pick him out of
Can't pick him out.
Sorry.
He looks like a Rob. He's probably a Robert. Looks like a Robert.
Bobbert.
Boblin?
It's a Boblin. He's a human, short end of human. He's barely taller than Rosmo.
Oh, that's why I don't recognize them. All humans look the same to me.
That's
Wow.
Wow.
I feel you.
I mean-
That's our point of connection right there.
There
Rosmo
it is.
Iimish.
We have no humans in the party. That's probably pretty good.
Honestly, yeah, that's extremely valid.
I think Lorelei's mediocre mentor was a human, so she's gotten fairly well adapted at parsing their strange demeanors.
There's humans in this universe?
They're around.
They're not as common.
They're non-player characters.
Pretty much. They barely count.
All humans are NPCs. We know that.
That's right. So he's standing there, and he's a pretty built dude. Like he looks like he's like just as wide as the door is, and he's just kind of standing there leaning on it. He's got, I will say, Rosmo, you recognize the trench coat and the boots, or I'm sorry, the very nice we the players would recognize them as like Italian styled loafers.
Ooh, slick.
Respect.
Yeah.
I'm a little jealous.
And the bowler style hat he's wearing. They all look very familiar to your past career.
I think Lorelei just sort of like saunters on over, tips her little cowboy hat, and then does like the romance novel lean over him, just like
Oh, nice.
arm on the door frame, and just, howdy, partner. How you doing on this fine day?
He continues to lean on the door, doesn't really move or react or anything. But he looks at you and he just says, when Doing great.
Lorelei absolutely tries to reach out and tip his chin up to continue this conversation. You have beautiful eyes, friend. I could just get lost in them. And I assume I should probably roll some sort of charisma check.
I think, yeah, just a flat charisma check.
Would this be parlay?
That's
I
the
think
thing.
the leverage is that I am just look at me. I'm the leverage, right?
Or an odd take on Defy Danger.
Oh, both of those are very good. I feel like more parlay because Lorelei is trying to insinuate herself, maybe make him blush a little and make him more perhaps amenable to us utilizing this rear entrance.
I mean, I was just going to say I had business with Jasper, but this is a fun plan.
I do have an important question.
Yeah.
I know I'm not there, but just for Rosmo's sake, I need to know if this gentleman blocking the door has the same size feet as Rosmo, because he was admiring his shoes, and I'm just curious if that's a thing.
I guess this is an important character defining moment for Rosmo. Does Rosmo have extra wide feet or normal people feet?
I think they're a little wider. I think dwarves have a little wider feet. They're just a blocky people.
That tracks. Dude definitely just has very long feet, not that wide. They would probably fit,
They might chafe a little bit, but
yeah, exactly.
Anything for fashion.
The price you pay for style.
Rosmo would never wear anything that wasn't tailored for his body.
That is valid. Rosmo, you're valid.
He has expensive taste.
Daphne, go ahead and roll parlay. I'll take that.
That would be a Lorelei rolling parlay.
You're right. I'm sorry.
You don't want me to roll on that.
That'd be funny.
What's your charisma, Daphne?
I think it's actually decent. Hold on.
I think you're supposed to be the face.
Yeah, it's my second best. It's my second best. Highest is my int.
Highest is your int?
High.
Yeah. She is an intelligence-based caster. It's great.
I thought it was charisma-based caster. I did not know that. So
nope.
Daphne was actually a PhD candidate before starting her life of dance and adventure.
Wow. Daphne is like Lisa Kudrow. Lisa Kudrow was a rocket scientist before she did Friends.
That is true. Yeah. Roll parlay.
That is a 7.
7. All right. On a 7 to 9, they need some concrete assurance of a promise from you right now.
Oh, wait, can I aid?
You can only give her a +1 or a -2.
Not worth it.
So you could take it down to a full failure.
No, I won't do that.
You can't bring it to a full success. Not worth it.
But it would be very
Never
funny.
mind.
Would be pretty funny.
I am inclined to let Lorelei have a win for once. It's not good for anyone for her ego to be inflated. I'm not selling this well.
No, Rosmo didn't expect this, so he's just going to hang back and watch.
I'm also super amused that you got all flirty with them, and they need a promise. That's by itself is comical.
So we're going to get a little loose with the definition on that.
What is flirting if not a delicious promise?
I mean, I'm pretty sure that Lorelei is committed to at least a date now.
So here's where we're going to get a little loose with interpretation of the rules. So you come up and you do the romance arc lean on the wall. You tilt the chin up and you're trying to finesse your way past him.
Mm-hmm. How deeply is he blushing though?
He's a little red in the face,
okay,
but not terribly. He swats the hand away and he goes back to, arms folded across his chest, and he says, "Look, if you're looking for a date, I'm off shift in about 4 hours. You can swing by then, okay?"
I'd love to buy you a drink, my friend. But we do have just a little bit of business with our good friend Jasper. I was just hoping, we could mosey on past you.
So here's where we're going to play with the with the concrete assurance of a promise right now. Mm-hmm. What do you have as collateral that you can offer him that will get him to buy that?
My heart.
I'm gonna give you a little bit of time to think that over.
Okay,
and check in with the other half of the party.
I would like to point out really quick, just because audience members can't see it, is every time Lorelei flirted with him, as soon as Alice finished speaking, her eyebrows went up. It's fucking hilarious.
Phenomenal.
After each line, just...
My perfect pink eyebrows.
Your perfect pink podcast eyebrows.
All I know how to flirt is just wiggling and like spouting bullshit.
Maybe flirtation worked. What do you say? Checking in with the other party. There are two entrances off the main drag. Are Daphne carrying Iimish and Taku going in the same door, or are you guys splitting up?
Taku's whole thing was he wanted to keep an eye on Daphne, so I'd imagine he'd come with Daphne.
I don't think it's possible for Iimish to split up from the group, right?
He's in a bag.
I was gonna say, being in Daphne's bag, I'm gonna stick with Daphne for now. We'll see how that goes, but
you'll notice that I didn't give you a choice. I gave Taku a choice.
I don't know, the thought of like Daphne's bag sort of just like detangling itself from her and then right, Mike.
You're just walking off.
Legs
with these,
punch out.
Big leprechaun feet.
Beefy legs pop out of the bag.
Yeah, the long and the short of it, though, is that much to my own dawning horror, we're following Daphne's lead.
What a good plan.
Yay! So you guys go in the front door, Daphne and Taku, and you see it's, for any of us who live in the Pacific Northwest and have been to the local casinos here, you know what the general floor is like on the casinos. It's kind of divided into dice games are in this area, card games are in this area, slot machines are in this area, right? That kind of feel. You notice, both of you, as you come in, that there is kind of a ramp up along the top row of the, 2 feet or so below the ceiling. And there is a patrol of Magicats that are just wandering around, keeping an eye on the casino floor itself.
Really?
And periodically, as you are watching, Dean is shaking his head so much. As you are watching as you come in the front door, you notice that they will occasionally call out to some of the pit bosses, the guards that are escorting people out of the casino. So they are more or less the security system that this casino has. Okay.
Could you say that they're catcalling people?
Go to jail.
Grown.
Jail. Criminal.
To the people listening, everybody went blank-faced and glared at Dean.
And usually I love his puns.
I know, but we're legally obligated to
shame him,
give him shit, especially for his stupid little giggles he does and his little wiggly shoulders.
So proud of this.
You smug son of a bitch.
Everyone shame this man.
You're 90% gold, but that was 10. That was...
Okay, so the party has come in the front door. You have seen the Magicat security system, for what it will be called. You've seen 4 separate and distinct areas. There's cards, there's dice, there's slot machines, and there are games of chance. So kind of like spinning wheels and shit like that. What are you guys doing?
We'll say at the very least, Iimish is, he's got like a little crook propped up in the bag so that he can see out a little bit. It's like the little kid watching a movie they're not supposed to watch.
Phenomenal.
Just so he's...
And Daphne just keeps like facing the bag towards everything so Iimish can see very, very obviously. Just go in there. Here's a view of that.
As Taku recalls the plan, the goal was for us to get escorted into the back room to try and narrow down where this box might be.
Sure.
So Taku's going to turn to Daphne and be like, Daphne, I think it would be a really good idea for you to maybe try and get in some cards while we're here. Don't set them on fire yet.
Oh, okay. Not quite sure how to play cards. You want to get all of them, right? You want to have the most cards at the end? You just want to take them all?
No, Daphne, you need to stick with the dice. Do dice. Don't do cards. You're far too flammable.
No. Dice won't work with the plan Taku's brewing up. Just as Taku is now talking in the third person. Just trust me on this. Play cards.
I want to see what strange things he's got going. Go for it. Daphne, listen to Taku. Never mind what I said.
Okay.
Love you have a leprechaun and a gator born on your shoulder.
Literally, that's right. I was like,
Oh my god, that's so good. They're both the devil on your shoulder.
Daphne's like turning to Taku, then turning to her back.
So you're gonna wander over to the card tables.
apparently.
Okay. So you guys find an equivalent of blackjack. I mean, you're just trying to play 21. What's the plan?
Yeah, no. So again, as Taku recalls the plan, our goal was to get caught cheating so we would be escorted into the back, and that would put us in the proper position at the proper time. So Taku...
That's not the plan that Daphne remembered. Daphne remembered, go make a scene and get in trouble.
Don't worry, we'll hit all of the notes of all of the plans we discussed with this singular thing here, right? So Taku will just throw the occasional coin on the table to keep Daphne playing for like 2 hands, right? And then round about the 3rd hand, Taku will loudly go, all right, I believe that is 30 cards now. Hey, Iimish in the sack, that's how you count cards, right? Are we doing this right?
Flawless.
I think Daphne will be startled by that, and she might erupt a little bit of fire, but just kind of watch.
That's okay. A singed card will only help from this point forward.
Yeah, I think whatever she's holding will probably just turn to ashes as her hair starts to burn at the ends a little bit.
Oh my god, that's so
Iimish
good.
completely upset about the fact that they have no idea how to play this game because games are something that's incredibly important to Iimish. It's just like, that is not how you play Cat Jack. Everybody fucking knows. The hell's the matter with you?
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna call for.
Bagpipes too.
Well, see, you're still in the bag, and that might pop off next. We'll get there. I would like for... God, how even do I resolve this shit? Honestly, like, it's clearly a charisma roll of some sort, but it's not parlay, because you don't have leverage. You're trying to... I would say just roll plus charisma. I would say with the amount of collateral that you have, with the burned up card, with the leprechaun in the bag, I'm gonna say that you can roll 3d6 and take the best 2. Yeah, I think that's how that's gonna shake.
That's a 6 and a 5 plus 2.
That is a full
that's
success.
An 11.
It's a good thing she had her lucky charm.
You never want to play Cat Jack without a leprechaun in a sack.
Cat Jack, leprechaun sack. There's too much going on here. Mike, what was the intended outcome of this? Are you trying to get security to come over here and escort Taku, Daphne, and Iimish into the back? Is that the goal?
Well, I think we're also going to loudly protest a little bit before they take us back, because we do have an obligation to create a scene.
Sure.
And I was promised fire.
No one made that promise.
I would like to state for the record that no one promised fire to Daphne, and that Daphne heard what she wanted to hear.
Oh, absolutely, but...
Show of hands, who promised fire? Anyone? Anyone promised fire?
Daphne promised
no
fire.
Exactly. Daphne promised Daphne fire.
That promise needs to be upheld.
Sure does.
You guys hear a number of magic cats from the rafters just calling out, these ones are cheating. They've been counting cards. Too many cats on this table. And as they're shouting this out down to the air quotes businessmen on the edges of the floor, a bunch of these guys rush out to you guys. Now, you said you're going to loudly protest being taken back initially.
Oh yeah, like the first thing out of my mouth when they start laying hands on us is, the cats told us to do it, they're liars!
We told them no such thing.
Liar!
Wouldn't you like to know?
I do! You are! Wait, yeah!
Incredible.
There's about a half dozen of these guys who have rushed over to you guys at this point. Are you doing anything, or are you just letting them take you?
I mean, token resistance on my part.
Do they touch Daphne?
I think they're going to try and non-violently escort you initially.
Do they
if you're
still
going to
touch her physically, though?
Yeah.
They don't do the hover hand thing?
Then everyone who touches her gets a point of damage immediately, gets a nice hand burn, and as soon as someone touches her physically... Is there a light feature above us, like a nice Phantom of the Opera style chandelier by any chance?
It's like the equivalent of a floating magical lamp, yeah.
Cool. Can I hit that with the biggest fire spell I have and see if I can get it to hit the ground?
You can definitely roll for that.
A distraction. That's a distraction, yeah.
Oh, another fun thing. While I cast this, it's my last spell slot.
Mm-hmm. And so I get to do running on empty as well.
Mm-hmm.
So this might be even more fun.
So are you casting Ignition again?
I am.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your roll with Ignition.
That's an 8 plus 3.
Okay, so that's going to be a full success. And I would like you to roll running on empty for me. So just 1d8. This could get real bad.
What happens with running on empty?
Oh, all good. I got an 8.
So go ahead and tell us what happens when you roll an 8 on that.
When I roll an 8, I just get all my spell slots back. So more fire.
Oh, good. So no lesson learned here. Perfect.
No lesson learned at all. I get my spell slots back and more fire for later. Consequences, what are those?
Daphne's gonna Daphne.
All right, so here's what happens. The guards come out to the floor to escort you backstage. One of them puts a hand on you to kind of prompt you to move. He burns his hand. Basically, it's like touching a hot
stove.
Yeah, exactly. Touching a hot implement on the stovetop. Burns his hand. He takes a point of damage. He switches to pulling out like a little cudgel to nudge you forward with that instead. As he does this, you aim your finger, like finger gun style, above, and you fire at the magical chandelier, which immediately erupts into burning sparks raining down on the ground. As this happens, Iimish, you kind of twitch for a second and kick the bagpipes, which honk loudly, which startles the guards and the magic hats. It is absolute chaos on the casino floor right now. You guys have your opening if you're going to try and break away, but that is a perfect spot to end this episode.
I'm so goddamn good at this.
All right. You can find us on Twitter at high_low_whiz. You can find us on Instagram and on Tumblr at high_low_whiz_pod. And you can find us on Reddit at /r/high_low_whiz_pod. Feel free to shoot us an email at high_low_whiz_pod@gmail.com. Please give us a review on your podcast platform of choice. Give us as many stars as you feel we deserve, or a lot more. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.